let's go around the table and introduce ourselves, starting with Sarah.
Sarah Converse, Executive Director of Sweetgrass Development.
Dani Arps, I'm the Grant Administrator for Teton County.
Sam Carlson, County Commissioner.
Joe Dellwo, Commissioner.
Dick Snellman, County Commissioner.
Paul Wick, Teton County Planner.
Paula Jaconetty, Clerk and Recorder.
Melanie Martinson, Choteau, Kansas.
All right, thank you everyone for coming. We have minutes from December 2nd.
I move to approve those.
And I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have an encroachment permit, and it's for a approach on County Line Road from Chance Shank. And Alan hasn't signed it, but he said that it was good.
I move to accept it.
Where's the castle? Where,
County Line Road.
do you have
I
a
would second.
lane
Crossroad, yeah.
It's between, no, it's just down on Shanks on County Line Road.
It's
311 is the address, 311 County Line Road.
Okay.
And it's just a new approach to a house. So, any further discussion? Did we move on that?
mm-hmm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Then we have two from Chase Brady. One is on 7th Lane Northeast, and it's for a power line running under the road.
I move that we accept those.
I would second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The second one from Chase Brady is also for a power line running under the road on 5th Lane.
I would move to approve that.
I'd second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So that brings us to the Young two-lot minor subdivision. Paul?
They are not prepared, they have not done a submittal yet, so I would say you need to table that one.
Do I have a motion to table?
I would move to table that to a later
Second.
date.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Where is that one, Paul? Didn't mean to put you on the spot. That's
I
okay.
don't have that fresh in my head,
Okay, that's
sorry.
fine.
So-
East of Fairfield.
Yeah, somewhere out there.
Yes, correct.
Okay, that's fine.
It's out in the country.
Yeah.
That brings us to the Walter Ag Covenant. Again, Paul.
So I do not have a signed ag covenant from the landowner yet. It's in the hopper, and we are working with the surveyor to get that accomplished and back to us. The surveyor was aware that it would be on the agenda, and we don't have it yet. Also, as of yesterday, Austin was still requiring at least one change to the survey to quote an exemption on one of the parcels. But just as a little preview, that one push pin is the I mean, it's just barely in Teton County. It butts right up against two of the boundaries for Teton County. So it's northeast of A-Rod Lakes. But at this point, I would say you need to table that one as well.
Okay.
Do I have a motion?
I move to table that one to a later date.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. So that brings us to the opioid settlement, and this was it's the settlement against the drug distributors, or manufacturers, not the distributors. And we joined the class action lawsuit in October, and we need to sign an MOU. And I think it's with the state attorney's office, so that's what Joe Coble is requesting us to do. And it will enable us to possibly get money for drug treatment in Teton County when the settlement occurs.
Okay. I would move to accept that.
Not second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Commission reports.
I don't have anything.
The only thing I know is the road department's busy graveling.
Okay, I don't have anything either.
So do they do that like throughout the county? I mean, each area is doing kind of the same thing, or?
They try to do it so we get the most bang for the buck. When Alan got hired, he asked the operators to go through every one of their areas and make a list of what needed to be done first, so we get the worst stuff covered first. So he's trying to work back and get those covered. So
Well, I guess, why, I'm just wondering if there's like, the potential for one area to go, oh, my roads are in pretty good shape, I don't need gravel, and therefore like another area may see a little more activity.
right, he went through with every operator and had them kind of rank their needs and went through, and that's how he's deciding where to go. So I think he's hitting it. I think he's using a logical plan. So
And as time consuming as it seems to be with getting approval for gravel pits. We have gravel in certain spots and that's what he's using first. So that they can keep busy and keep going. It's a little too dry to try to grade roads because you can't get anything really accomplished other than making it dusty.
the road he's graveling currently is the road going to the wind farm east of Freeze Out. And the reason that he ranked that high is that when they did that wind farm, they put a mat down on the road and then covered it with gravel, and the mat was getting bare, and we didn't want to lose that. So he ranks them, and I think he's got a good plan on how to get the worst first. So that's what we're doing. Public comment. No public comment?
The county prevailed in the court action that Mike and Martin filed against the health department and the school district. The judge ruled yesterday that the petition for injunctive relief did not cite any law or facts that would allow the court to do what it wanted, which was to prevent Choteau Public Schools from hosting a COVID vaccine clinic.
Thank you.
And that's today, the clinic?
That is over with. It was 8 to 10 this morning.
Mhm.
So did they go through and have the clinic then?
Yes,
They did?
yes. The judge ruled at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, approximately, that
Okay.
he denied the request for injunctive relief without a hearing.
Was that Judge Olson?
It was Judge Olson,
Mhm.
yeah. Both Joe Coble representing the Teton County Health Department and then an attorney from Missoula representing the school districts had filed responses arguing that there was no legal basis for the clinic not to be held.
I read the responses.
Yeah, and the school board had voted earlier that day. On Tuesday, they had a regularly scheduled daytime meeting, and they had voted unanimously to oppose the request. Not on any, it had nothing to do with what was actually being held. It was the premise that it's a public building. They're a public building, they're owned by the taxpayers, and the school district is gonna let the community use those buildings whenever it can. I mean, obviously you can't hold something in classrooms on the day of, when school's going on, but they said they were really committed to letting the public use their buildings, and they don't wanna set a precedence for every time someone objects to a group using the facility to have to go through this.
Yeah,
Which was also what their attorney said.
I had a discussion with Levi Hodgkiss, and that was his deal. Once you set a precedent, then where do you draw the line? Where do you say no? Where do you say yes? And it would have just been a difficult situation that the school would have been put in, he thought. Okay, any further public comment?
I have some. We have a board meeting next Wednesday in Conrad at the Moose Lodge, rather than the community center, as it's noisy there. So
It is noisy there.
it is noisy.
Mhm.
So we'll be at the Moose Lodge. We're going to be starting our big 5-year planning piece, and so I'll be talking to Paula and you and Dani about needs assessment hearings and things. We'll actually have a facilitator. EDA gave us some funds, so we'll have somebody come in and actually do those meetings. So it'll just be up to us to get people there. I'll give you a quick update on power, water,
What was the date and time for that meeting?
next Wednesday, the 22nd at 2 p.m. Power is having some issues. They have water main leaks that they're having problems detecting, and it's causing some people to be without water. It's taken quite a while. I sent you a letter this morning. They had a meeting last week, and in discussions with that, and Camille has been speaking with Dani on your ARPA minimum allocation funds, but based upon the MOU and possibly 632, because it's part of the distribution process for the new system and things. We'll check with DNRC if you're agreeable to it, to use the minimum allocation. They've spent $69,000 on some quick repairs for the sewer lift station that is all of a sudden having issues too, as well as the distribution, and that's only through like November, and they've got another $15,000 in costs coming in. So the minimum allocation funds would help them out a lot to get those done, because it'll have to be done. They're going to have a company come in and actually do leak detection, because they were using rural water and they didn't use the ultrasound on it, and they dug in a couple places where they thought they heard it and it wasn't there. So they need to have someone come in and do all that and then get those fixed. They're going to get bids from contractors to do so and that type of thing. So that's kind of the issue with it. So if you're agreeable and those monies can be used, because it's still part of the distribution for infrastructure and part of the project, because they don't have any water right now, then they go into an emergency thing and that makes a big mess. So with your blessing, we can check with Anna Miller on it, and she knows what's going on with it too. We had our call, which Dani participated in. So excited about that. Everybody was like, it was so great to have her on. Fantastic. You missed meeting Laura Sattler, but everybody else was on. So all the funders are aware of it too. So that's up to you. We can do the checking and stuff, and if that's the case, the application hasn't been submitted yet, but Camille is very worried. Montana Rural Water came out and went through the plant too, and there's some things that will have to be done in order to shift and do things with the new system as well, in order to kind of take the plant offline, if it lasts until then. They just really have some issues going on. So
I would be open to putting it on the agenda for the next meeting.
okay,
January 6th.
perfect. And we'll get all of the information by then. We'll get contractor quotes and have a good idea. I think it will be covered. And Anna said on the call that some of the funds could be used for things like that. And then we've had conversations after. it's really stressing Carol Walker out with
That's
Jean's
the one,
passing
yeah.
too.
Yeah, that's just a bad
So,
situation.
so we need to get this done and completed. They're also going to be advertising for an operator.
They
too.
have been.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been a couple times.
Yeah, it's not. We're not getting anywhere yet. So I'm going to help them kind of get it out a little more in a couple different venues. But
So
Rural
would
Water's
need-
helping as much as
We
they
would
can.
need the information and the ability to make sure that we don't get stuck with the,
That's exactly it.
so
Exactly
if you can
it.
get that by January 6th, I'd be happy to. put
Yep.
it
Is
in.
this part of the existing project, or would this be a separate project?
No, this is basically part of the existing project because part of the
Excuse me. Whose phone?
It's in the other room.
Oh, okay.
because part of ARPA you can upgrade distribution for things, and this is part of the distribution.
Was this
So-
part already put into your project you submitted, your application you submitted?
I have to double check upgrades to the lines and things were because they talked about new meter pits and the distribution in there too. So we have to go back and look because they had asked for 7 million additional dollars. So we haven't finalized the scope of work for the additional 2 million yet, but it was part of that big $7 million ask.
Just, I'll put it on the agenda and
Yep.
if it's not coming together soon enough, then just call me and,
Oh, we'll get it.
but we'll
Yeah.
deal with it as soon as we can, so,
Perfect. Thank you. I just wanted you to be aware.
okay. All right, any further public comment?
Short timer.
Rather than assume, these two items that you tabled will appear for January 6th.
Yep. Yes. Okay, any further public comment? Our next meeting is January 6th, and thank you all for coming. Oh, wait a minute.
I would like to say something. So this will be Paul's last meeting.
Yep.
Thank you, Paul. We will have a reception, a retirement reception for Paul on January 3rd at the Annex from noon until 4 p.m.
You're gonna have to work till 4 that day.
Bring your own bottle.
Stuff in my face.
We'll
Right.
have lots of good
What's that?
refreshments.
Bring your own bottle.
Maybe at 4:15.
Okay.
Whatever. 5 o'clock
It's
somewhere.
Or
somewhere.
he'll have a growler outside.
Okay, now the meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks, Paula.
You're welcome. Since he approved his little, he approved his. He thought that was really nice.